Do not talk to the police. If you're a suspect, do not talk to police. If you're not a suspect, don't make yourself one. A lot of people know this, but a lot of people don't really understand it. A lot of people have not seen it played out. And let me tell you, I've been on both sides of the fence. I was a criminal defense attorney, and then I became a prosecutor for some years, and I'm back on the defense side. And let me tell you, as a prosecutor, ooh boy, ooh wee, anytime somebody said something, what prosecutors do is they will dig and they will pick apart every word that the suspect says. You know, I remember there was a case that I saw, and it was a larceny, a theft of a store. Now, there were 4 suspects. They must have spoken with each other about the rule of not talking. Because when they were confronted, they zipped it shut. They didn't say a damn thing. And sometimes the only thing that an investigator or a prosecutor, DA, whatever you want to call them, the only thing that they need is that extra puzzle piece to complete their picture, to complete their case. And you don't want to give them that. You do not want to give them that. I just remember seeing these suspects, and I was just so impressed. Here's what really impressed me. It wasn't just that they didn't speak to the police. It's that they were polite when they didn't speak to the police. They smiled. They gave the officers their ID. They didn't struggle. They didn't do that thing where a lot of people do, where I know my rights, I know my rights. You can't do this to me. They pull out their phone and start recording and all that stuff you see in these videos. They just kept their mouth shut and smiled. They were compliant to the degree that they needed to be compliant. And I'm telling you, even though I was on the prosecution side, I said, damn, that is beautiful. It was great. Which leads me to another point. I've seen the videos where you have a suspect and they start getting smart with the officer. I know my rights. You can't tell me to do this. You can't tell me to do that. I don't like that. Let me tell you, even as a defense attorney, in most cases, I don't like that. Let me tell you why. I'm not going to say every case. Most cases, I don't like it. So let's just take a traffic stop, for example. Let's say the officer comes to the car and the person starts saying, I know my rights, I know my rights. And they do that stupid little thing where they put the window down a few inches and they slide everything through the glass. I hate that. I hate it with a passion. Like, no attorney likes that, you know? Okay, prosecutors don't like that, but even defense attorneys hate that. You know why? Because when you get in front of the judge and you've actually done something wrong and you're looking for mercy, when the judge sees that you were a complete asshole to the officer, they are so much less likely to give you a break. Judges don't like people when they pull that shit, so don't do it. I just, and I don't do it. Don't roll the one. Take the example of the folks that I told you about who were polite. I like that. I appreciated that. They were polite. They did what they had to, and it was done. I don't know what happened with that case, but I know that it was 10 times harder because they didn't open their mouth. Right? this raises an interesting question about, cooperation with the police during an investigation. And I thought about that for a long time. I thought about it. And I really think it depends on the individual circumstance. So I would say there are times when cooperation is necessary, to give your part of the story. When, I really can't tell you. I would say you'd have to contact your local attorney for that information. But there are times. So this is not a blanket, don't talk to the police. All right? But I can say, and I'm sure you all have heard, if you're a suspect, don't talk. It's amazing. The police can go to a scene sometimes and they can look for the suspect if they don't have one. Imagine a situation where the police get a call about a shooting or someone shooting in the air or something. They come to the address where they've had the call and they see several people outside. Guess what? All of those people were suspects. And sometimes you can say something to them. Oh yeah, I was there when it happened. And you can think that you're doing the right thing. I was happening. I couldn't see who did it, but I was right there. Nope, I was definitely there when it happened. Well, guess what? Saying something like that can be used against you. But then imagine there's a murder investigation and you want to get involved. Well, if you're a witness, perhaps you should get involved. Because on the flip side, the reason that a lot of homicides don't get prosecuted is because witnesses don't say anything for various reasons. They don't want to be blamed for anything. They're afraid of the perpetrator, the perpetrator's friends and associates, the Confederates. So what I always say as a general rule is, if you're a suspect, don't talk. Keep your mouth shut. Right? Keep your mouth shut. Don't say a damn thing. But at the same time, don't be an asshole. Don't be an asshole. Don't put the window down 3 inches and slide things through the glass and then get to court and think the judge is going to give you a favor. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. At the same time, I do think that the community should cooperate with the police in certain instances, certain investigations. When something happens to someone that we know, someone that we love, we demand justice. Right? We demand justice. Well, that justice is only going to happen if someone speaks up and does the right thing. I'm laying aside the street code about snitching. I'm not going there. This video has nothing to do with that at all. Just put that aside. I'm talking to people who are not about that life. Even if you are about that life, you probably shouldn't say anything if you're a suspect. So again, general rule, don't talk to the police. But it's okay to give your license. There's nothing wrong with that. So when people don't do that, it's just, it makes me cringe. It makes me cringe. I get it. We live in an age where, people want to videotape what's going on with the police. And you know what? That's a good thing. That's fine. And people know their rights, and that's fine. That's good. You should know your rights. And I'm not saying to lay down on your back, show your belly, and, not understand your rights. Not act like you understand your rights. It's just, I guess there's a fine line. Just don't be an asshole. If you know you're going to end up in court. If you know that you were speeding, you're going to be asking mercy later. Don't be a dick. Okay? So, This video is definitely not an F the police video. It's definitely not a cop bashing video. Those folks have a hard job, and again, when something happens to you or someone you love, you want justice, and that arm of the government is the one that does it. But this is about your rights and getting the best outcome that you can if you're accused of something. Appearance is everything. Appearance is everything. So, more to come on that later. And I don't know if I'm going to drop that here on YouTube. I probably won't. There's some deeper things about that I really can't speak about on YouTube. So, otherwise, talk to y'all later.